and welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, so I am bringing you the meeting highlights. I am not bringing you away in this week because I did not go to my workshop last night. I had every intention of going, and then I got a couple phone calls that needed to be dealt with, and I just didn't make it, which is fine. I am a lifetime member. I only need to weigh in once a month, and I did already weigh in, I think, 2 or 3 times in February, so I'm good with that. I don't like to miss my meetings. I really like them. I like the camaraderie. I like my leader, who actually wasn't going to be there last night. And I like the accountability, but sometimes life gets in the way, and that's what happened last night. So it is what it is. But I will definitely be back there next week, and I will weigh in, and I will be in my blue chair listening to the topic. But I can still bring you the meeting topic for this week. And the meeting topic this week is Think Outside the Scale. It is talking all about non-scale victories. And let me tell you, whether you've been on this journey for a week, a month, a year, or years, non-scale victories are so important. You can be the poster child for WW. You can have the most perfect week, and the scale may not move your way. It's happened. It's happened to me the last several weeks. But that's when you have to look beyond that for the non-scale victories, the things you're doing in your life to accomplish your goals. The weekly says, yes, seeing the number on the scale go down feels great, but it's not the only way to judge success. Paying attention to wins that have nothing to do with the scale reinforces your healthy habits and helps you recognize the progress you've made. Whether or not the scale goes the way you want it to, you have to reflect on your non-scale victories. It will help you stay inspired. So it says to focus on the positive changes you've made recently that aren't related to the scale. First thing they tell you is to identify your non-scale victories. We talk about this all the time. And let me tell you, I have a lot of them. I have big ones and I have little ones. My non-scale victory this weekend being away was passing up those 52 food trucks. You know, we knew we were going to eat out. We knew pretty much what we were going to eat. And yeah, I was so looking forward to the meals that we were going to have and the company of just being with friends and hanging out that it wasn't hard, you know? I mean, oh yeah, you know, you see the lobster mac and cheese and the stuffed waffles, and my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you. But you know what? It's just food. It's not that important. What was important was staying focused, knowing I was going to have delicious food, just not all the delicious food. Knowing that I was spending time with my husband and my besties and, you know, living our best life. So looking at those things helped me make good choices. And that was a non-scale victory for me. One of my biggest non-scale victories is being off all of my blood pressure medication. Like, that was huge. I was taking 100 micrograms of blood pressure medicine every day. And now I'm not. That's huge. So you have to always look at the positive, especially if the scale's not moving. You know, my scale has not moved in a downward direction in quite a few weeks. It's actually gone up a little bit. So, and that's maintenance. But my clothes are not tight. My jeans are still fitting. And I feel good. So I'm going to focus on that and not the number. Numbers are paralyzing and they do not define us. And that is a hard thing to remember. I still have struggles with that. I really do. So anyway, number 2, consider the impact. Think about the effect of the changes that you've been making. Maybe new dinner recipes helped you discover more veggies you loved and upped your confidence in the kitchen. So the non-scale victories can go beyond just looking good and feeling good and making the good decisions. They're healthy habits that we are acquiring. They're drinking our water. They're trying new recipes. They're expanding our horizons, things like that. And consider the impact that all of these great changes are having. All these changes will result in victories on the scale, just maybe not right away. And number 3, enjoy your successes. Notice how it feels to celebrate the non-scale victories. Is it different from when you were focused on weight victories? Try jotting down your non-scale victories in a journal before your weigh-in each week. If you do that, that way it'll help you if you don't have a good showing on the scale. I'll never forget how good it feels to celebrate certain non-scale victories, especially when it came to buying new clothes and being in such a smaller size. And it's funny because sometimes, not so much now, but back when, I had lost all my weight and everything, I would still reach for the sizes that I was in. And it took me a while to realize that I don't need those sizes anymore. And sometimes those mental things can be a non-scale victory. So you just have to remember, like I said, the numbers can be paralyzing. And my dogs are barking like crazy. People have the nerve to walk down the sidewalk. It's not like it's a public street or anything. They're just protecting the house. It's just annoying, especially when I'm recording. So I'm going to go shut them up and I will be right back. Okay, let's see how long that lasts. So I don't even remember what I was talking about except non-scale victories. You can always find a non-scale victory to celebrate. Maybe you went out to dinner and maybe your intention was to eat half of your dinner, but you ate the whole thing. But you didn't have dessert. There's a non-scale victory. Sometimes we have to look a little harder for them, but we can always find one. And finding one and celebrating that will help you stay on track. You don't realize sometimes, because these are becoming habits for us, making the good choices and sometimes denying ourselves of that dessert. We're making better choices, and we forget that we're making better choices because it becomes habit. Sometimes you have to stop back and look at that, like, yeah, I did eat a little too much pasta at dinner, but I didn't have dessert, I didn't have the bread, and whatever. Or maybe you want to be the opposite and say, you know what, I'm only going to eat 1/3 of my dinner because the place we're going has fantastic chocolate mousse, and I know I want to split one of those for dessert with, my husband or my girlfriend or whatever. So these are the non-scale victories we need to look at. We need to look at them in all the areas. We need to look at them when they're related to food, when they're not related to food, when they're related to our health, when they're related to just something that makes us happy. They're important. Like I said, especially when the scale is not going the direction you want it to go. And it is so hard to stay the course when you think you're doing everything right and that scale is not budging. It will catch up. You have to remember that. It will catch up. These last couple of weeks have been a horrible struggle for me with the scale just going a little bit up and a little bit up and a little bit up. And I know I'm in a different situation being in maintenance and being so far under goal. I know I don't have to sweat out the paying. So I understand that I'm in a different situation, but it's still bothersome to me because, my happy place is like 135, 137. And, my last weigh-in, I was 137.4. So I'm a little bit out of my happy place. And I can't let that continue to happen because the next thing I know, I'm going to be right at my goal and in danger. So it's a different struggle, but it's still a struggle. So I am trying to focus on those non-scale victories. Yes, I didn't make perfect choices over the weekend, but I made good choices. And I just look back and, my gosh, if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I can't even imagine what I would have eaten over the weekend. I would have felt sick. Yeah, I would have. So we have to stop and we have to look at those type of things. And we have to, my favorite word, give ourselves a little grace when it comes to that too. Sometimes we just need that non-scale victory to get us through to the next scale victory. So that is it. That is the meeting highlight. Don't forget to celebrate those. The recipe on the back is Cajun shrimp saute. It looks very good. It is 3 points on green, 2 on blue, and 2 on purple. And it looks a little spicy because you got some peppers in there and a little cayenne, a little cubanelle. But it looks good, and I bet, it's a nice meatless dinner if you celebrate Lent, which is coming up. So that's the recipe, and that was the meeting topic. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you know someone that this would help, please share it on your social media. I love to be shared. And leave me a comment below. Let me know your best non-scale victory. I told you mine, and that was getting off my blood pressure medicine. So let me know in the comments below, what is your best non-scale victory? Whether you have been on WW for a day or whether you've been on WW for 10 years. Let me know your non-scale victory, and let me know how your week went. And that is it for me. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to subscribe. Leave a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and I will be back. I will put up another video tonight of a full day of eating. We are going out to Chipotle tonight to a fundraiser, and Chipotle is a very point-friendly place to go for dinner. So I will show you what I eat for breakfast, lunch, and then at Chipotle tonight. Have a great day, and remember to celebrate those non-scale victories.